Hi everyone, thanks for joining in. We'll be starting with today's session now. And if you're attending this session for the first time, I would like to start with a quick introduction. This is a part of Apna Community Exclusive, a webinar series that we have been conducting for the last couple of months. And we host these sessions regularly from 7 p.m. and cover a wide variety of subjects like spoken English, resume creation, technical skills, upskilling, and so on. And the main objective of this session is to help you grow professionally and also to help you in advancement of your career and to get better jobs. Today's session is all about learning how to code, where to start, and how to keep it going. For this session, we have Manish with us. He's a software engineer at PayPal. He's also a mentor and a coach. He has several years of experience. He's a mentor. He has helped freshers and working professionals as well. We are glad to have you, Manish. Thank you for joining us today. I'm passing it on to you. You can take it over from here, Manish.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Sneha, for the introduction. I hope my screen is visible and
Yes, Manish.
everyone is able to see it. So, hello everyone. So today, the topic of our session is learning how to code, where to start, and how to keep going. So this is all what we will be covering, and let's get started with this topic. So. A brief introduction about me. I know already Sneha has introduced, but yeah, from my side. So my name is Manish. I'm currently working as a software engineer too at PayPal. I have currently around 7 years of experience working in the industry with many different companies. I've worked with many different folks to help them clear their interviews and to get started in their career as a software engineer. So that is about me. If you want to connect with me, so definitely drop me a message on LinkedIn, or if you want to get a mentorship with me, you can feel free to connect with me on the any of the socials of my platform. So let's actually get started with the topic. The main question: why to learn to code? That is the something which everybody looks for. Like, why should I, in the first place, start learning to code? Okay. So, the current market scenario, how it is happening. If you see on a year by year basis, most of the different industries, either it is hospitality, either it is hospitals, either it is agriculture or bank or anything, almost all of the sectors, they will definitely have a website. Most of them will also have a Android or iOS applications में. ठीक है, बिना online presence बनाए, it's very difficult for the companies to market their products as well. That's the first thing. कि आजकल बहुत सारे लोग online आना चाह रहे हैं. Now the second thing, if you try to understand about the benefits, कि तुम्हारा क्या फायदा है if you start learning to code. So first thing is कि demand अच्छी है. And why this demand is high? Because if you see, this is the golden era of internet, is what I feel. If you just take the data of YouTube or any other platform, okay, social media platform, every year on year, there is a lot of users who are stepping up on the internet. Okay, it is said that only 40% of the Indian users are online. So still there are 60% of users who are not on the internet. So probably वो भी धीरे धीरे करके internet पर आएंगे. And if so many users are there on the internet, तो इन users को handle करने के लिए there will be need of more software engineers जो और अच्छे cool products बनाए, who can handle the complexities of these applications, these websites जहाँ पर ये सारे request लिए जा रहे हैं users के. ठीक है. In the today's world, probably you cannot imagine a day without Instagram या Zomato पे कुछ order करना या Swiggy, anything. So what I'm trying to say is, if you see with respect to the career opportunity, there is a high demand. Okay. And also it's not the case that high demand hai, but roles available nahi hai. The roles, there are diverse roles. So what do I mean by diverse role is, if you want to become a front end engineer, you can become that. If you want to become a back end engineer, you can become that. If you want to just become a quality assurance guy, you can be that as well. Okay. You can also hop on to many different skill set. आज की तारीख में, what you can learn and progress and धीरे धीरे उस skill में grow कर सकते हो. That's the first thing. Now, what are the other benefits? Competitive salaries. ठीक है, you know कि software engineer is one of the highly paid jobs in the today's market. ठीक है, and that is the major motivation is what I feel of most of the folks around कि lucrative pay है, ठीक है, benefits हैं, growth potential अच्छा है. So let's start our journey in this particular field. और क्या benefits दिखते हैं? So अभी like post COVID, if you see, so there is a lot of flexibility around remote working. So there are many companies who are still in support of कि ठीक है remote work कर सकते हैं. There are many different companies who have moved to hybrid working model as well. And there are many startups and many different US companies who prefer कि all their employees can work remotely. बट ये डिपेंड करता है, बट एटलीस्ट यू हैव दिस ऑप्शन ओवर हियर, राइट. एंड बहुत लोगों के लिए ये चीज काफी मैटर करती है. दे डोंट वांट टू कम आउट ऑफ देयर होम टाउन, अपने पेरेंट्स के साथ रहना. यू डोंट वांट टू ट्रैवल टू बैंगलोर या नोएडा या हैदराबाद जस्ट टू वर्क. ठीक है, सो दीज आर यू नो फ्यू ऑफ द benefits probably that can motivate you for learning to code. Now the other thing is कि कुछ misconceptions भी होते हैं, ठीक है, कि probably coding is not for everyone. It is very difficult. इसके लिए बहुत अच्छी maths आनी चाहिए, otherwise you will not be able to grow in this career. So, but is that the truth? I would say not that much. Basics, mathematics, basic problem solving skills, ठीक है, वो तो जरूरी है. And that can be learned over a period of time. ऐसा नहीं है कि coding is something which is so tough कि you are not able to learn, you are not. I know many folks जिन्होंने switch किया है who were not from the engineering backgrounds. So they were probably from a commerce background or from a science background or something else. Okay. And they put some amount of effort, 4 महीने 6 महीने का effort लगाया. They learned the programming language, and then after 8 months or 10 months of hard work, they are able to switch to this particular career as a software engineer. Probably they will start with a junior software engineer or as an associate, and then धीरे धीरे they will climb the ladder. So this is one conceptions ki I don't understand the technology, kaise karenge, I don't have that kind of a math skills, so how will I progress or uh, get ahead in this career. So don't get worried on all of these aspects as well. Let's move to the next. अगला सवाल definitely आता है कि how to get started is the question. कि there are so many options as of now, right? There are so many programming languages. So as a beginner, what is the one programming language which I should pick? Should I, probably you guys also might have heard a couple of programming languages. Someone said ki Python kar lete hain. Someone will say let's go with JavaScript. Someone will say let's go with Java or C++. And there is a lot of confusion around this. So this is also, many of the students or the aspiring engineers whom I communicate with, they also say कि कौन सा programming language start करें. I would say on this factor, start with something जो तुम्हें करने में ना शुरू में मजा आ रहा हो, ठीक है. It could be anything. There will be 2-3 factors. So one of the factor will be कि तुम्हारा goal क्या है, what do you want to do, ठीक है. So if your goal is to develop a website, कि मुझे एक अच्छी सी वेबसाइट बनानी है, अपना पोर्टफोलियो बनाना है, so you can pick JavaScript for that. क्योंकि JavaScript में you can probably write some code, you can learn HTML, CSS, web development सीख सकते हो, and then you can get started in that particular area. ठीक है. अगर तुम्हारा इंटरेस्ट है कि नहीं मुझे वेबसाइट्स नहीं, मुझे तो एप्लीकेशंस बनाने हैं, probably I am more into कि मुझे मोबाइल एप्स बनाने हैं, and that is for Android. So Android के लिए in that case you will have to learn Java, Kotlin, ठीक है. And then थोड़ा सा उसमें भी you will have to learn the basics HTML and all, that is for sure, to design वगैरह. अब तुम्हारा है कि I want to design or develop the apps for the iOS, ठीक है, कि मुझे iOS ecosystem के लिए करना. Then for that case you will have to learn Swift. सो हर प्रॉब्लम को टारगेट करने के लिए देयर इज अ पर्टिकुलर प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज. बट इफ यू आर नॉट क्लियर कि मतलब मुझे क्या करना है, मुझे एंड्रॉइड कर लेना चाहिए या मुझे वेब डेवलपमेंट करना चाहिए, क्या करना चाहिए, so probably you can go with a different kind of approach. ये देखो कि कम्युनिटी किसकी स्ट्रांग हो रही है, ठीक है, रिसोर्सेज किसके ज्यादा अवेलेबल हैं, ठीक है. अगर मैं सीखना स्टार्ट करूं, व्हाट विल बी इजी फॉर मी टू गेट स्टार्टेड, किस चीज को मैं अच्छे से सीख सकता हूं और धीरे धीरे आराम से उसमें ग्रोथ भी मिल सकती है मुझे. And the second thing will be कि if I learn this particular language, if I learn this particular skill, what is the demand of it in the market? कि अगर मैंने ये सीख करके कल को if I go to a company कि मुझे hire कर ला सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर, will that be relevant? So probably if you will learn something जो थोड़ी obsolete है, it's not being that popular in the today's market, ठीक है, या कुछ थोड़ी बहुत ज्यादा futuristic है, और something which is not beginner friendly जहाँ पे तुम अपनी जगह ही नहीं बना पा रहे हो, all of those factors will not let you get started. So probably if you ask me what do I generally suggest to a fresher, pick either Python or JavaScript, ठीक है, otherwise you can pick anything between Java or C++. So any of these three programming languages, you are good to get started, ठीक है. That's the one thing. Now I talked about the factors to consider while choosing a language. अब उसके बाद आता है कि व्हाट आर द बेसिक टूल्स एंड सॉफ्टवेयर्स एक्चुअली, कि कोड कहाँ लिखेंगे, कैसे लिखेंगे, है ना. वेयर डू आई टाइप माय फर्स्ट प्रोग्राम, द हेलो वर्ल्ड व्हिच यू गाइस नो ऑलरेडी, है ना. Probably all the engineers, the first program that anyone has written, it is definitely going to be the hello world program, right? So if we just say कि basic tools and software क्या चाहिए, so basic tools में you just need one of the IDE. IDE क्या होता है? IDE is simple a text editor which helps you write code. ठीक है. अब you can write the code in a normal notepad as well, but थोड़ा सा convenient करने के लिए there is a specific IDE for the Python या JavaScript, probably VS Code या IntelliJ, anything you can pick up, whatever preferred language you are using. And उसके साथ में you can also have to learn a version control system, which is the Git, so that your entire code that you have written, it could be pushed to the GitHub platform, and वहां पे पूरा collection of your code will be there, which you can share it with your friend, और अगर साथ में build कर रहे हो, so it gives you a complete holistic experience कि हाँ, I'm developing something and फिर मैं मेरा code यहाँ पर GitHub पर है, I can deploy it, I can showcase it to recruiters, I can create a portfolio out of it. So these are the basics. If you just want to know what are the only 2 or 3 things to get started, learn one ID. It is not a difficult thing. You have to learn a little bit about the GitHub, और एक terminal, ठीक है, एक कोई सा भी terminal, उसके basics कि how to learn the basics of Linux के कुछ commands वगैरह, so that you are able to talk to any machine while you are trying to जैसे git में भी if you will have to commit your code or push your code, you'll have to interact with a terminal, ठीक है. So this is just the basic. अब एक बार इतना कुछ कर लिया, then the first thing you already know, you have to write your hello world program. Hello world अगर आप Python में लिखना है, you can just do a print hello world, ठीक है. JavaScript में लिखना है, you can do a console.log hello world, ठीक है. Ruby में लिखना है, you can do a puts hello world. So हर प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज का हेलो वर्ल्ड लिखने का भी एक तरीका होता है, एक सिंटैक्स स्ट्रक्चर होता है. सो नाउ द टाइम इज learn the syntaxes of the one programming language which you have chosen. Either it could be Python, it could be Java, it could be C++, it could be JavaScript, anything. अब यहाँ पर बेसिक सिंटैक्स एंड स्ट्रक्चर का क्या मतलब है कि एटलीस्ट यू शुड बी एबल टू राइट बेसिक प्रोग्राम्स, लाइक वेरिएबल्स पता होने चाहिए, बेसिक डेटा टाइप्स जो होते हैं वो पता होना चाहिए, कंडीशनल स्टेटमेंट की इफ एल्स करना है तो कैसे करेंगे, ठीक है, लूपिंग कैसे करते हैं, ऑल ऑफ दोज थिंग्स, छोटे छोटे फंक्शंस बनाते कैसे हैं, इजी टू लर्न स्टफ. अब once you know these basics कि हाँ, अब I can write a program that prints the days of a week, ठीक है, और I can write a program that will print 1 to 100 as a numbers, ठीक है, उसमें फिर you can play around कि मैं even numbers play करूं, odd numbers play करूं, prime numbers play करूं, simple basic mathematical start कर लो. फिर उस पे if you want कि अब क्या कर सकते हैं, so इसी टाइप के छोटे छोटे easy code snippets जो होते हैं, जिसमें you don't have to apply so much of logic कि बहुत ज्यादा confusion नहीं कर रहे हैं. But we will do these kinds of small code snippet पर बहुत सारे. ठीक है, try to do about 100, 110 or 150 these code snippets. You can go to any of the website, like there is this website Geek for Geeks. If you will go to the Geek for Geeks, उनके problems का एक section है where you can just apply the filter of basics या school, and it will give you a list of 500 ऐसे छोटे छोटे problems कि print this, print this, print this. ठीक है, it's very easy. अब यहाँ पर what we are trying to do is we are trying to build the programming muscle, ताकि we know, अच्छा अगर मुझे print statement लिखना है उसका syntax ये होता है. What I'm trying to say is you're learning the ABCDs of the programming. Just like अगर तुम्हें एक sentence बनाना है, ठीक है, so you have to learn the ABCDs of that. ठीक है, then you start learning to create words out of it, and then you start learning to create the full sentences, then the full paragraph, and then you write essays. अब इस पूरे process को लग जाता है ना time. If you consider तो KG में start करते हो learning the letters, and in the 10th class board you are writing the 3 pages of essays and everything. So you have spent like 10 साल दे दिया. Probably programming world में 10 महीना तो spend करो. ठीक है, so spend this amount of time in the beginning so that your fundamentals, your programming muscle जो है वो थोड़ा थोड़ा develop होने लग जाए. That is how you understand the basics and the get started. Let's move ahead. अब एक बार हमने ये कर लिया कि चलो बेसिक्स ऑफ चीजें तो हमारी सेट हो गई है, अब आगे क्या करें. लर्निंग प्लान बनाना इज समथिंग विच आई फील ना मिसिंग होती है. सो देयर आर 3 थिंग्स बेसिकली. द फर्स्ट थिंग इज कि यू हैव टू बिल्ड अ लर्निंग प्लान. अब व्हाट डू आई मीन बाय दिस कि बिल्ड अ लर्निंग प्लान? गोल्स रखो. ठीक है, नाउ व्हाट डू आई मीन बाय गोल्स? कुछ realistic goals. What I have seen with many of the folks when I try to interact with, they want कि मुझे कुछ भी नहीं आता, but 1 महीने के अंदर I want this job at this company with this kind of a CTC, which is not correct. ठीक है, अगर यू हैव टू लर्न समथिंग एंड फिर उसको मोनेटाइज करना है, सो उस चीज में तुम्हें एक तो अच्छा होना पड़ेगा. यू विल हैव टू ब्रिंग सम काइंड ऑफ वैल्यू जिसको कंपनी भी रेस्पेक्ट करे एंड उसके लिए तुम्हें उसके पैसे मिले. एंड ये ओवरनाइट या 1 महीने में या 1 हफ्ते में पॉसिबल नहीं है. ठीक है, सो व्हाट इज द करेक्ट वे कि हाँ, पहली तो चीज है कि आई एम इंटरेस्टेड टू वर्क इन दिस डोमेन, सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियरिंग एज अ करियर, आउट ऑफ एनी ऑफ द वाइज. ठीक है, कुछ भी हो सकता है तुम्हारा रीजन, वी ऑलरेडी डिस्कस द रीजन इन द बुक. ठीक है, नाउ प्रिपेयर अ रियलिस्टिक गोल. अच्छा ठीक है, आई एम ट्राइंग टू लर्न कोडिंग जिसमें मेरा anyone having some question? Okay, so let me move ahead. So the first thing is ki you should have some realistic goal. Okay, so what do I mean by realistic goal is ki probably you want to learn, let's say, Java. And Java is a programming language which is a bit verbose, syntaxes सीखने पड़ेंगे, and then you will have to do a lot of practice and everything. Abhi, what I said, ki at least try to practice small like 100, 150 problems. So you have made ki I will try to work on this 150 kind of small code snippets for the entire 1 month. ठीक है, अब 1 मंथ का मेरा बड़ा टारगेट है जहां पर आई एम जस्ट माय फोकस इज टू लर्न द बेसिक सिंटैक्सेस. दिस इज अ शॉर्ट टर्म 1 मंथ काइंड ऑफ अ गोल. मैंने पूरे साल भर का प्लान नहीं कर रखा है. नाउ यू कैन ऑल्सो ट्राई टू ब्रेक दिस डाउन पर वीक कि अच्छा ठीक है, मुझे 1 महीने में प्रोबेबली अगर 200 या 150 प्रॉब्लम्स करने हैं तो आई ट्राई कि एक वीक में मैं 40 से 50 प्रॉब्लम्स टारगेट करूं. आई लर्न द बेसिक्स. ठीक है, आई फॉलो दिस ट्यूटोरियल. दैट इज वॉट आई एम सेइंग. अब इसमें क्या होता है, सिंस यू हैव अ बाउंड कि मुझे 1 मंथ में ये गोल कंप्लीट करना है, सो व्हेन यू मेक दीज काइंड ऑफ प्रोमिसेस कि हाँ यार मुझे ये छोटा सा चीज है, आई एम गिविंग माई सेल्फ 1 मंथ ऑफ टाइम या 1 वीक ऑफ टाइम, इट साउंड्स कि ओके आई हैव अ डेडलाइन विथ इट, एंड विथ अ डेडलाइन इट इज अ ह्यूमन साइकी की वी आर ऑलमोस्ट बाउंड कि चलो ये कर लेते हैं बिकॉज देयर इज अ डेडलाइन फॉर इट. ठीक है, सो हैव दैट काइंड ऑफ अ प्लान फॉर योरसेल्फ. The second thing is, most of the time what happens is कि we tell कि हाँ हम ये कर लेंगे, in 1 month we will do this, probably it happens कि Friday night को भी plan कि पूरे weekend में तो we will learn this thing, we will do this much of code, I'll build this app, but Monday आते आते फिर it does not happen. ठीक है, एंड वी फील कि वी आर लॉस्ट, पूरा टाइम वेस्ट हो गया. Why did it happen in the first place? क्योंकि we did not have a study schedule. ठीक है, and even for the beginners this is really really important because you don't have this muscle. Coding की habit नहीं है. ठीक है, you are trying to learn this thing and coding is difficult, to be honest. ठीक है, it's not that easy. And इतना easy होता तो everybody was doing the coding and everybody would be a software engineer, but it is difficult, let's be honest. ठीक है, but it is a skill, and a skill you can practice and learn and be better at it. And for that you'll have to put constant effort, you have to be consistent, और उसके लिए you need to have a proper study schedule. And what do I mean by the study schedule? कि अपने सेशंस प्लान कर लो कि चलो, probably you have a job या फिर कुछ और कर रहे हो तुम, and you cannot spend the entire day just learning or just doing uh, Python or JavaScript or Java, anything. But you can spend like 3 घंटे 2 घंटे 4 घंटे every day, or probably alternate days, or probably in a week you can spend 18 hours जो भी तुम्हारा plan हो. But try to commit to that कि ठीक है, I'll spend Monday, Wednesday and Friday को शाम के 7 p.m. से 9 p.m. I will be doing this coding practice of this particular Java or Python or JavaScript, whatever language you are getting started. अब इसमें क्या किया तुमने कि तुमने अपने टाइम के हिसाब से you assessed your calendar, you assessed your plan, time, and उसके बेसिस पे तुम्हें जो चीज सीखना था, ठीक है, उस पे फोकस करने के लिए यू हैव गिवन योरसेल्फ अ टास्क, एंड ये एक स्टडी शेड्यूल बना लिया कि फॉर दिस वीक माय एंटायर फोकस इज जस्ट टू इन्वेस्ट माय टाइम लर्निंग these things. और ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम, वीक बाय वीक अगर ये तुम करोगे, सो बाय द एंड ऑफ द थर्ड वीक, बाय द एंड ऑफ द फोर्थ वीक, यू विल सी कि काफी चीजें तुमने अकॉम्प्लिश कर ली है. ठीक है, इट्स नॉट जस्ट कि मैंने सोचा था बट वो हुआ नहीं. एक्चुअली व्हाट यू हैव डन ओवर हियर इज कि तुमने उस थॉट को एक्शन लेकर के उस पे आउटपुट भी निकाला है, एंड दैट इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग. Okay, now the third thing is choosing the right resources. And what do you mean by choosing the right resources? इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि you went on YouTube या फिर you went on some website and तुमने Python सीखने के 15 courses खरीद लिए. ठीक है, you went on Udemy and you bought all the fancy courses. You went on YouTube and you started learning at watching videos just at 3 different playlists. ठीक है, that is not how you learn coding. You pick any one of the things. Either a course ले लो, either you can follow any of the video playlist on YouTube, या Udemy पे course ले लिया, yeah, you can buy a course of, there are so many good teachers as of now in the market जो online सिखाते हैं. Udemy is a really great platform जहाँ पे तुम सीख सकते हो. ठीक है, I'll tell you the resources later as well. But the point is, there is something called tutorial hell. Don't get into that tutorial hell कि बस हम वीडियोस पे वीडियोस देखे जा रहे हैं एंड वी आर नॉट डूइंग एनीथिंग अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट. जब तक तुम खुद से अपने हाथों से टाइप नहीं करोगे, व्हेन यू विल नॉट लर्न कोडिंग, इट्स इम्पॉसिबल. कि सामने वाले को देख देख के नहीं सीखते हैं. एज अ बिगिनर तुम्हारा 80% और 90% फोकस होना चाहिए कि तुमने अगर एक चीज सीखी तो उसको 10 बार इंप्लीमेंट करो, अनलेस एंड अनटिल यू फील कॉन्फिडेंट कि हाँ, अब ये चीज इट इज विथ मी. ठीक है, अब मुझे ये लिखने के लिए वापस से रेफर नहीं करना पड़ेगा. Probably when you have to type a word or type a sentence, तुम गूगल नहीं करते हो ना जाकर के कि how will I write this x character or this, ये word मैं कैसे लिखूंगा, unless until it is very complicated word. You know कि बेसिक अगर मुझे फ्रेंड का स्पेलिंग लिखना है तो व्हाट इट इज द स्पेलिंग ऑफ द फ्रेंड, यू जस्ट टाइप इट आउट. क्यों? क्योंकि तुमने बहुत बार ऐसे प्रैक्टिस किए, ऐसे वर्ड्स बहुत बार तुमने प्रोनाउंस किए हैं, लिखे हैं, सो यू नो इट, इट इज इन यू, सबकॉन्शियस लेवल पे तुम्हारे पास ये चीजें हैं. सेम काइंड ऑफ चीज तुम्हें कोडिंग के साथ भी प्रैक्टिस कर करके डेवलप करनी पड़ेगी. एंड दैट इज पिक एनी ऑफ द रिसोर्सेज. ठीक है, कुछ भी, बट पिक वन, दैट इज द कैच. एक टाइम पे 4 चीजें मत करो कि मैं पाइथन भी कर रहा हूँ, साइड में मैं जावा भी कर रहा हूँ, एंड इधर मैं जावास्क्रिप्ट भी कर रहा हूँ. डोंट डू दैट. पिक इधर पाइथन या जावा या जावास्क्रिप्ट. व्हाट हैपेंस इज कि तुमने स्टार्ट किया जावा, योर फ्रेंड हैज स्टार्टेड पाइथन, एक हफ्ते बाद वो बोल रहा है अरे पाइथन इज वेरी कूल, मैं ये कर रहा हूँ, आई एम लर्निंग दिस, एंड देन तुम्हारा पूरा इंटरेस्ट जावा से शिफ्ट होके पाइथन में चला गया और वाइस वर्सा. दैट शुड नॉट हैपन. एक चीज को पकड़ के गो इन, एटलीस्ट थोड़ा एक्सप्लोर करो, एटलीस्ट गिव 2 months ऑफ टाइम टू इट. ठीक है, दैट इज द बेसिक आई वुड से कि यू विल हैव टू स्पेंड थोड़ा सा बेटर होने के लिए. Even probably I have around 7 years of experience, but I can't say कि I know everything. ठीक है, I have been writing code from last 12 or 15 years probably. ठीक है, but still I'm learning every day. So that is something which I feel you guys as a beginner should definitely do. And then the last part is tracking your progress. So it's just like if you start with gym jana start kar diya, or you started taking care of your health, then you see some visible progress ki dekho body अच्छी दिख रही है. I'm getting leaner, I'm building muscle, something like that. But how do you see the same thing if you're not tracking your progress with respect to code? You'll have to track your progress. What I'll tell you, the industry secret, almost most of the good developers, okay, or my friends or whoever I have met, everyone has their logs, okay, of daily logs or weekly logs of what they are working on. Okay. It could be something which you can journal in a private journal maker loya. You can use any app and you can journal over there. And that is how you build your entire credibility. वरना यू विल फॉरगेट कि आज मैंने क्या सीखा, आज से 6 महीने मैंने क्या पहले क्या किया था, उसके 1 साल पहले मैंने क्या किया था. सो यू फॉरगेट थिंग्स क्योंकि हमारे ब्रेन में वी विल नॉट बी एबल टू रिमेंबर एवरीथिंग. सो एवरीवन हैज देयर ओन लॉग्स. ठीक है, एंड दे ट्रैक कि अच्छा बहुत बेसिक सा कि अच्छा आई लर्न दिस थिंग्स, आई हैव इम्प्लीमेंटेड दिस काइंड ऑफ थिंग एंड इट हेल्प्स यू डेफिनेटली. अगर तुम देखोगे तो देयर आर मेनी articles on this. ठीक है, software developer logs type of, अगर if you will search you will be able to see कि कैसे कैसे बहुत सारे templates हैं which people are using. And it also helps you कि uh, in the future probably you are working at some company. ठीक है, and then there is a time for appraisal. तो अब तुम कैसे बताओगे कि तुमने पिछले 1 साल में क्या काम किया था if you have no clue about it, because you will forget things, right? So आते आते end तक you'll have to keep a note of everything, and then you'll have to build your resume. तो resume में भी चीजें लिखने के लिए you should have something. So collect your logs, and as a beginner it will help you to motivate कि यार मैंने इस हफ्ते में इतनी चीजें बनाई है, I have written these many lines of code, I have completed these many programs. That's how it helps you to track your progress. The next part is how to stay motivated and overcoming the challenges. This is also one of the thing कि what happens with the beginners are कि कर लेते हैं start, एक हफ्ते बाद quit कर देते कि नहीं हो पा रहा है. So how do you continue with this? ठीक है, how to stay motivated in this is also important. There are 4 aspects of it which you can see. The first thing is the finding a coding community. अब it can be आज के टाइम में तो you have Discord servers and all, तो you can just go and join Discord servers. जो भी अच्छे popular coding के Discord servers हैं, हर probably हर language के specific हैं, you can go there, you can hang out with those folks. Even हर city में probably if you will come in Bangalore या हैदराबाद, वहाँ पे coding communities भी हैं. ठीक है, or if you are in probably in a college या if you are in college में तो definitely you will have friends, and also find out a group of people who are equally interested. कि अगर you want to build a website, you want to learn Stack, you want to learn Python, find out 3 4 folks जो तुम्हारे साथ इस चीज को करने में इंटरेस्टेड हो, एंड देन मेक इट फन. ठीक है, ट्राई टू गो ओवर अ कैफे या गो ओवर अ प्लेस साथ में बैठ करके एंड ट्राई टू डिस्कस ऑन कि क्या बिल्ड कर रहे हो. ठीक है, वी कैन लेट्स वर्क टुगेदर ऑन दिस पर्टिकुलर प्रोजेक्ट. ठीक है, you can go to some coding challenges. Most of the cities में hackathons होते हैं आजकल, online hackathons होते हैं, offline hackathons होते हैं. There is a 24 hours that you will stay there, you will have food and everything, and then you will build something out of it, and you learn a lot from those experiences. So that is equally important. इसके बाद you need to build your own projects as well, कि एटलीस्ट चलो अपना पोर्टफोलियो वेबसाइट बना लिया, बिकॉज यू आर लर्निंग. ठीक है, अब तुमने कोडिंग सीख लिया है, यू नो द बेसिक्स, नाउ यू हैव टू ऐड समथिंग मोर ऑफ इट. उससे कुछ करके दिखाओगे तो एटलीस्ट सम बेसिक प्रोजेक्ट्स. आई गिव यू सम बिगनर फ्रेंडली प्रोजेक्ट्स आइडियाज इन द लेटर स्लाइड्स जो यू कैन पिक अप. एंड देन द लास्ट पार्ट इज सीक फीडबैक. ठीक है, किसी से probably you have access to someone who is working, ठीक है, LinkedIn पे जाके you can get connected with so many folks, and there are many folks who offer mentorship. Probably it could be a paid mentorship because you'll have to value their time. Otherwise, if you have a friend or someone who knows you very well, they want to help you out, so they'll help you and they will mentor you. And if you do this one thing, if you want to get started in the coding career, in the software engineering as a career, you will be saving quite a lot of your time. That is for sure, because you will not make those mistakes which your mentor has already made. Why? Because he's ahead in the journey. Okay. So probably if you come and ask me, hey, Manish, can you mentor me? And then I'll be able to help you. I'll be able to guide you with my experiences. And that will save you from making those mistakes जो मैंने probably किए थे जब मैं सीख रहा था. ठीक है, so it gives you a lot of benefit. And आज के time पे you have access to many platforms. ठीक है, one of the platform where I do mentorship is pre-placed. Okay, so you can have access to a lot of mentors over there, and they'll help you become a better software engineer. Okay, so the next part is, what are the next steps in the coding journey then? ठीक है, हमने ये कर लिया, we have built some projects and everything. Now what are the next steps? सीख लिया, सब कुछ कर लिया, अब कंपनी में काम भी तो करना है, यू वांट टू गेट अ जॉब. ठीक है, सो उसके लिए क्या करें? सो प्रोबेबली उसके लिए देयर आर सम सेट ऑफ इंटरव्यू के पैटर्न्स होते हैं कि दीज आर द टॉपिक्स व्हिच यू शुड नो. प्रोबेबली इफ यू एम टू गो फॉर अ बिग प्रोडक्ट बेस्ड टेक कंपनी, you'll have to learn something, data structures, algorithms, you'll have to grind lead code. Okay, you'll have to learn the design, low level design, high level design. You'll have to learn some advanced topics as well. Beginner friendly topics पे ही stick करके career नहीं बना सकते, right? So you will have to explore something advanced topics which will help you get that job as well. Then you'll have to build your portfolio, projects बनाओ, ठीक है, build your resume अपनी LinkedIn पर या different जो जॉब पोर्टल्स हैं वहां पर अपना पोर्टफोलियो बना के रखो, so that recruiters are searching the candidates over there. They can come to your LinkedIn and see, अच्छा हाँ, कि चलो Shiva has a really good LinkedIn profile and I will help him. I'll reach out to this guy and I'll check if he's interested or not. And that's how Shiva gets a job. Network. Okay, you can have a group of friends on LinkedIn or in your personal life, or as if you're working at some office, so you have colleagues, उनके साथ network करो, build that professional environment जो है उसका फायदा उठाओ. ठीक है, फायदा का मतलब है कि try to network, try to help them, कि अगर उनको किसी प्रॉब्लम में है, and if you know how to figure it out, tell them कि अच्छा इस सिनेरियो में we can do this, work with them, try to build the trust. Later point of time probably they will help you out as well. That's how you network and grow. ठीक है, and then preparing for the job interviews. So if you do all of those things, job interviews का preparation तो होता ही चला जाएगा. It's not something that you will have to अलग से फिर 6 महीने लगाने की जरूरत पड़ेगी, because you are doing learning things, you are exploring advanced topics. But हाँ, just for the brush up part, last के 1 month और 3 हफ्ते 4 हफ्ते, depending upon where do you stand in the preparation, spend that time and then focus on that particular company and get that job. So next thing is कि what are the resources जो हम रेफर कर सकते हैं. यू ऑलरेडी नो, लाइक अभी के टाइम पे तो यूट्यूब इज वन ऑफ द प्लेटफॉर्म जहाँ सारे ट्यूटोरियल्स, सारे लैंग्वेजेस के प्रोजेक्ट्स, एवरीथिंग इज हाईली अवेलेबल ओवर देयर. सो YouTube is definitely top of the list for sure. Most of the people I know, they hop onto YouTube every day to learn something new. Even I use YouTube to learn something new which I want to explore. कि ठीक है, इसमें मुझे नहीं पता, some new programming languages. I just want to hop on and have a fresh look कि कैसे हैं, क्या चीजें हैं. So I'll jump onto YouTube and watch 1 hour, 2 hour ka video. It will give me some basic understanding, basic syntaxes, fundamentals, and then I'll try to go to the next steps. Okay, I'll go to some, I'll buy books, or I'll go to some other websites. I'll try to read. I'll try to learn from the blogs. I'll try to implement some projects which will help me वो concepts को और strong करने में. But for you guys as a beginner, YouTube is definitely one of the thing. Udemy पे you can get courses at just 400 or 500 rupees. It is not that costly. एक कोर्स खरीद लो, just complete it. ठीक है, ऐसा मत करो कि 10% 20% कोर्स किया and then you hopped on to something other, वो मत करो. Pick a course, complete it. Always be a closer. ठीक है? Whatever you opt for, complete it 100%. Because why I'm saying this thing and stressing on it is कि I know many engineers, many folks जिनके पास बहुत सारी Udemy courses and they are just there, मतलब देखा ही नहीं है but खरीद करके रख लिया है. Don't be that guy. It will not help. Then the second thing is practice. Practice for you guys as a beginner is going to be really important. There are so many coding websites jahan par you can go and practice. HackerRank for a beginner is really good. Free Code Camp, if you want to learn JavaScript, okay, you can go and just follow their entire curriculum over. वहाँ पे सीख जाओगे. ठीक है. Lead Code again for data structures algorithms is a really good website. So many different coding websites, many different online learning platforms. Pick what helps you do best. And then books. Probably I would say programming books से तो आज के टाइम पे नहीं सीखना चाहिए. But still, if you are a student, if you are a someone who prefers to read book and learn from them, there are so many good books. ठीक है. Just be careful and try to pick the latest version of that particular programming language. कि ऐसा नहीं कि you picked up फर्स्ट वर्जन एंड अभी थर्ड वर्जन या फोर्थ वर्जन चल रहा है उस बुक का एंड देयर आर सो मेनी थिंग्स व्हिच हैव बीन अपग्रेडेड इन दैट पर्टिकुलर लैंग्वेज एंड तुमने पुरानी पुरानी चीजें सीख ली बिकॉज बहुत जल्दी प्रोग्रामिंग स्पेस के अंदर ना कोडिंग स्पेस के अंदर चीजें इवॉल्व होते रहती है. ठीक है. ऑल द लैंग्वेजेस जावा ले लो, इफ यू रिएक्ट ले लो इन द जावास्क्रिप्ट फ्रंट एंड every 3 months 6 months there is something which is new coming and you have to at least get to know कि क्या चल रहा है so that you are aware about the changes. Okay, and you are not getting obsolete. So these are the top resources. Now coming to the project ideas. Okay, as a beginner I said कि when you are learning the programming, ठीक है, इट शुड नॉट बी कि बस बना करके लर्न करके बेसिक्स को छोटे मोटे कोड स्निपेट्स करके एंड देन यू आर डन विद दैट. दैट विल नॉट हेल्प यू बहुत ज्यादा आगे बढ़ने के लिए. एटलीस्ट ट्राई टू गेट स्टार्टेड. कुछ बनाओ. ठीक है. दीज आर द वेरी बिगिनर एंड बेसिक प्रोजेक्ट आइडिया. दीज आर समथिंग विच यू कैन just build within few hours. Okay, there is nothing very fancy about these project ideas which I have listed, and you can build it in any of the language. Okay, अगर for example if you just want to learn Java, so Java के अंदर you can build console application. You don't need to have a fancy UI and everything. उसके लिए you don't have to do that, but you can write code जो कि कंसोल पे चले, तुम्हारे टर्मिनल पे ऑपरेट हो जाए. यू कैन बिल्ड अ टू डू लिस्ट एप्लीकेशन, यू कैन बिल्ड अ सिंपल कैलकुलेटर. ठीक है. यू विल लर्न अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स ओवर हियर. एक सिंपल कैलकुलेटर भी बनाओगे, यू विल लर्न कि अच्छा आई विल हैव टू इम्प्लीमेंट दीस फंक्शनैलिटीज इस कैलकुलेटर के अंदर. व्हाट हैपेंस इफ इन द फ्यूचर आई हैव टू ऐड सम मोर फंक्शनैलिटीज, हाउ टू सपोर्ट दैट. एंड इस तरीके से स्लोली एंड ग्रेजुअली यू विल स्टार्ट लर्निंग. वेदर ऐप. ठीक है. वेदर ऐप इज समथिंग विच यू कैन बिल्ड. इसमें तुम सीख जाओ कि अच्छा देयर इज अ वेदर एपीआई which will give you this data, so how to call that particular API. ठीक है. उसके response को and then how you will render that and showcase it on your app. Then personal portfolio website, a really good project as a beginner that you can build up. और ये तुम दिखा भी सकते हो कि देखो आई हैव बिल्ड दिस एंटायर पोर्टफोलियो वेबसाइट. यू कैन यूज सम फ्रंट एंड फ्रेमवर्क, रिएक्ट और नेक्स्ट.js और एंगुलर, एनीथिंग, व्हाटएवर यू आर लर्निंग, व्हाटएवर यू फील you want to learn at that point of time. और उसको यूज करके यू कैन बिल्ड द यूआई. थोड़ा बहुत यूएक्स सीख सकते हो. And then you can have this portfolio website which you can add to your resume. Anyone will come to your website and we will see कि अच्छा हाँ this particular guy has a very cool website. Probably इसको अच्छी knowledge है UI की, frameworks की, and let's have a word with him for a job interview. Where there can be some games which you can build, number guessing game. Yeah, you can build some other snake and ladder or anything. Currency converter is also one of the cool project which you can build. Mostly backend में हो जाएगा ये. ठीक है. Then you can have some recipe app कि you will showcase to your users कि अच्छा हाँ this is a recipe for a biryani, this is a recipe for this vanilla cake or anything, whatever you want to build. Then you can have a BMI calculator, again kind of a mathematical app. You can build a quiz application, you can build an address book. So here this is just, I will say, collection or a list of some beginner friendly project. If you build like 3 4 out of it, or I would suggest you build all of them. It will really help you कि चलो practice भी हो गई अच्छे से, and you get to learn quite a lot of things. इसमें गलतियां भी करोगे and then you learn out of those. So just giving you from my perspective कि at least ये सब कुछ तो करो, but don't stop here. ठीक है, इसके आगे भी build करते रहो. Even on these projects, if you get started, try to take it to the next level. कि इसमें और मैं ऐसा क्या add कर दूं कि this becomes really interesting, which I can uh, give my friend or give my family कि वो भी use करे. ठीक है, so try to be a bit innovative. ये नहीं कि बस copy paste कर दिया, just following the tutorial and just did the same thing. Try to take it one step ahead, कुछ अलग करो. Now the next question is कि how to keep going, कि अब इतना कुछ करते हैं, so there is time where we feel कि नहीं हो पाएगा, probably we are not doing good, there are doubts जो आते हैं, and probably most of the engineers, they have self doubt कि शायद they are not in the correct industry, they are not in the correct company, probably they were lucky to be just there. ठीक है, बहुत सारे doubts and ऐसे सवाल आते हैं. So and that would probably lead to some people कि वो छोड़ देते हैं and they get depressed and all of those things also happen. But what I will say is find your inspiration. ठीक है, कि why in the first place you started. We already discussed the why, right? So find your inspiration, what works for you. हर किसी का अपना एक तरीका होता है सोचने का, to keep progressing, to keep in the game. ठीक है, figure out your inspiration. Try to seek feedback जहां पे गलती कर रहे हो, ठीक है, for you, from your mentor, from your managers, from your peers, कि what can I do so that I become the better version of myself, what can I do so that I can become a better engineer. ठीक है, ट्राई टू स्टे ऑर्गेनाइज्ड. जो भी अपने काम करते हो, प्रोबेबली योर डेस्क हो गया या फिर तुम्हारा लैपटॉप हो गया, वॉट एवर इट इज, ट्राई टू कीप इट क्लीन एंड सिंपल, कि बहुत ज्यादा डिस्ट्रैक्शंस ना हो रहा हो. ठीक है, टेक स्मॉल ब्रेक्स. ऐसा नहीं होता है कि यू आर वर्किंग वर्किंग एंड यू आर स्पेंडिंग लाइक every day 14 hours 15 hours you are working for a really really long period of time. That will eventually not take you a lot ahead in your career. बहुत जल्दी burnout हो जाएगा. ठीक है, so it's okay कि ठीक है, if you are working hard, do work hard, but take small breaks as well. ठीक है, have clear goals. Try to challenge yourself with good quality projects. कि अच्छा, अभी probably you are learning Python, or you are probably learning Java or JavaScript. 1 साल हो गया, 1.5 साल हो गया, नाउ व्हाट नेक्स्ट. अब इसमें तो यू आर कंफर्टेबल, अब कुछ और भी सीखना चाहिए. सो ट्राई टू अपस्किल योरसेल्फ, एक्सप्लोर न्यू टेक्नोलॉजीज. ठीक है, ट्राई टू कनेक्ट विद द अदर फोक्स कि वो क्या सीख रहे हैं. ठीक है, मार्केट में क्या ट्रेंडिंग चल रहा है. प्रोबेबली दिस इज द टाइम ऑफ मशीन लर्निंग. सो प्रोबेबली इफ यू आर समवन फ्रॉम बैक एंड इंजीनियर, कि मुझे लेट मी ट्राई टू जस्ट सी कि क्या है मशीन लर्निंग, लेट मी एक्सप्लोर. मुझे एक्सपर्ट नहीं भी होना है, बट लेट मी ट्राई टू फिगर आउट. ठीक है, ट्राई टू बी अपडेटेड विथ वॉट एवर इज हैपनिंग इन द मार्केट, एंड दैट इज हाउ यू कीप गोइंग. एक ही चीज करते रहोगे, यू विल बिकम बोर. ठीक है, लाइक यार क्या ही कर रहे हैं, वही सेम चीज, आई एम जस्ट फिक्सिंग द बग्स, आई एम जस्ट फिक्सिंग द एपीआईज. सो try to be curious, try to explore new things, challenge yourself. ठीक है, try to seek feedback from your peers, from your managers. That is how you keep going, because this software engineering as a career is just not a year or two. At least you will be spending 15 years, 20 years. You'll be working at different companies with different folks. So try to have a long vision. ठीक है, this is not कि 1 साल का बस कुछ goal hai, you just meet it and you are done with it. Okay, so have the way to look at it ki this is a 20-year or a 15-year time where I have to spend, so I have to work on it, I have to progress on it every day, and that is how you keep going with it. So my final tips, if you guys are like beginners, first thing is start small and be patient. So again, starting small, what I mean is don't overburden yourself कि I'll have to learn these and you have like curated कि मुझे 15 चीजें सीखनी है. You don't have to learn 15 चीजें, you just pick one of the thing, be patient, सीखो उसको, spend time. That is the first important thing. Spend at least 1 or 2 months learning the basics, then upskill. धीरे धीरे next आते जाएगा. And if you'll see over a period of 7 years, over a period of 10 years, you will see कि how far you have come. ठीक है, and how many things you have learned at that point of time. So be patient, keep practicing regularly. That is the tip number 2. This is again, if you are not being consistent with the coding, or I would say any of the skill, you will not to be able to become good at it. ठीक है, ऐसा नहीं हुआ कि एक दिन किया एंड देन 10 दिन नहीं किया एंड फिर 2 दिन किया फिर नहीं किया, you will be very good with it. नहीं होता ऐसा. You have to at least practice daily. Daily means you have to write some lines of code daily. ठीक है, probably write a small method even if बहुत time नहीं मिला तो, but at least try to be consistent with it. कुछ तो करो, at least push some code to your GitHub. ठीक है, at least take motivation of that green boxes that happens on your coding profile or on your GitHub कि चलो I have to make it all green. ठीक है, so at least try to practice, be consistent, try to gamify the entire experience of your learning. Then tip number 3 is, don't be afraid, to make mistakes. Mistakes are something which you will definitely do. Okay, everyone makes mistakes. Even as a fresher, if you join some company as an intern, you join as a company, you will do mistakes. So but challenge yourself, have the courage to own the work. Even if you make mistakes, it's okay. Take help from the people, take help from your managers, take help from your mentors, try to learn from them. Okay, that is what my last tip is. Stay curious. It will happen after a year or two, once you have got a job, you are working in the company, and then you feel ki this is something which I don't want to do. If you're not curious, you will feel ki kuch aur karte hain. Probably I'm not that much interested in coding, this is not meant for me, and those things happen. This is very very common, I've seen with folks. The only way you can be in any of the industry and you can work for long is if you stay curious with it. कि क्या चल रहा है, अच्छा, this is some cool thing which I can explore. These are the cool technologies that I can work and learn something out of it. ठीक है, try to create some projects कर लो, try to get involved in the community that you have. ठीक है, I mentioned in the first place कि have your community. If you have like-minded people, unke saath you can connect, have conversation, they'll keep you curious, you will make them curious, and you'll keep learning and keep growing in this career, right? So that is all for this session. If you have guys any question, feel free to reach out to me. This is my email. You can reach out to me on LinkedIn. This is my handle. I'm for Manish Pushkar. And if you want to connect with me on Twitter, this is again my handle. So yeah, that is all for this session. It was great having to interact with you guys. Yes, Neha, I'll you have the room now.
Yes, Manish. So, folks, that concludes our presentation here. If anyone has got any questions related to the topic, please feel free to ask. If you're hesitant to ask over here, please drop your questions in the chat box. We'll pick it up one by one and we'll try to address all of them. During the session, I had seen Ashirvad Prajapati, you had raised your hand. Ashirvad, are you there? Okay. If not, Kunal, you also have a question. You can go ahead. You can ask Manish.
Sorry. Yeah, Ashirvad Prajapati is here. Hello, ma'am.
Yes, Ashirvad, go ahead.
Yeah, ma'am, actually, I have a doubt. Actually, I'm fresh graduate in petroleum engineering currently, and currently I'm looking for any programming language. So my doubt is, which language should I prefer as a beginner?
So, Ashirvad, if you remember, this was the first question that we discussed in our presentation. Okay. So again, I would say the same thing. The answer does not change over here, that as a beginner, what programming language you should start to pick up. If you feel you are interested, to learn the front end side of things, you want to build some websites or anything, try to jump up to HTML, CSS, JavaScript, try to learn a library, React. Okay. And try to explore that. Spend like 3 months or 4 months just exploring it, and see whether if you have a liking toward it or not. If you feel ki front end is something which you don't enjoy, okay, that is something which you find boring, you are more of something which you want to look for the back end side of it, or probably you don't know that you like back end or not. So what you can do is spend 3 to 4 months just doing the front end, okay, learning HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, and try to learn. You can get any course which is there, or you can follow any Udemy or any YouTube playlist, learn that. After that, try to switch to backend, try to explore any of the language. You can pick Java, okay, and then once you have a comfort over Java, then you can pick any framework with which you can build some APIs in Java. So probably you can use the Spring Boot, and then explore the next 3 months or 4 months learning Java and Spring Boot from the backend side of it. Probably that will work out for you. Then you can shift your focus from the front end part to the back end, or vice versa. Probably if you just pick the backend side of things first, and then if you feel ki na backend is not which is working for you, switch to the front end side of it. So the point is you can pick any of the language, okay. If you just ask me what will I suggest, the answer will be you can pick anything which is easy for you to understand, okay, which you find ki there is enough job opportunities, and which you want to do, okay. The combination of all of the three will be the perfect choice. Python, JavaScript, Java, C++, anything out of the four as of now in the current industry is relevant. It has a job. You can get hired as a software engineer, but it depends then on your interest. So if you don't know, figure out your interest. How you will figure out? By spending some time. But you have to spend at least 2 to 3 months, since you are a complete beginner, you don't know anything, you have a complete different background, right? So that is my response to you, Ashurvad. I hope
Thank
that
you, sir.
answers.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Thank you, sir. Got it.
Okay, Kunal, you had a question. You have also dropped your question in the chat box. So, Kunal, are you there? Let me just read out his question, Manish. His
Yeah.
question is, I'm learning digital marketing, and my mentor told me that if I learn HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, it will be even more beneficial for me and will boost my chances getting selected in interviews plus higher salary than other than those who don't know coding. So this is
Okay.
his question.
So this is from Kunal. Is
Yeah.
Kunal over here? Kunal, are you here?
He is there, yeah. He has
Okay.
written in the
So
chat box. Yeah.
got it. So Kunal, the thing is, if you are doing digital marketing, okay, digital marketing has nothing to do with a software engineering as a job. If you learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and all of these things, probably it will help you to become a front end engineer, okay, a UI engineer who can write code and design websites and help with that. But if you want to go to the other aspect of it, you want to become a digital marketer, probably writing code is not what you do as a digital marketer. There are other aspects of it which you have to learn, okay, and that is a totally different niche, and people are doing really good in the digital marketing as a career as well, okay. You'll have to learn a complete set of skills. But if you want to compare the salaries of a digital marketer as well as a software engineer at this point, uh, in general, I'm not talking about the top 1% or top 5%, because if you become the top 1% or 5% of any field, any career, okay, you will be making really a good amount of money as salary wise, I'm saying. But as a beginner, I would say, as a software engineer, probably you will be having more leverage, okay, uh, or more salary, I would say, compare to a digital marketer. But I would say to not pick a career choice just because of the salary, because what I mentioned is you will have a career of like 20 years. Okay. So eventually, if you are not interested in the coding and you really wanted to become a digital marketer and you wanted to do a job out of coding, you will do a great work over here in the digital marketing as a career rather than being a software engineer. So not sure your mentor, whoever is, what background he is holding and how he's helping you, but that is my take on it, because these are two different fields, and you should pick one of the field and put good amount of effort to succeed in that. Yeah, that is your.
Answers your question, Kunal. If there's anything else, please drop in the chat box. We have Akila. Yes, Akila, you have raised your hand. You can go next. Akila, do you want to go next? Okay. Meanwhile, let's pick one more question, Manish. It's there in the
Yeah.
chat box. It's from Amisha. Can you suggest which language is best for future purpose to build a technological improvement? Okay, her question
Okay.
is not complete, but she just wants to know which language is best.
Okay.
I,
So
yeah,
this question is from Amisha.
Amish.
Okay. So Amisha, again, there is no best programming language. If I'll sound a bit uh, how it is possible that there is no best programming language, but that is true, because it is just, programming language is like a tool. Okay, so just like in your house there will be a toolbox, you will have a screwdriver, you will have a hammer, you will have there are many some toolbox. Okay, and if you want to prick a nail in the wall, you will use a hammer. If you want to fix something else, you will choose the other tool and you will try to use that to fix it. Similarly, programming language in the industry is one of the tool. If you want to build websites, write the front end code, you'll have to learn JavaScript for that. Okay, as of now there is no other option for it to work around with the browsers just understand JavaScript, so you have to learn JavaScript. If you want to probably work with games, okay, you'll have to learn C++, some languages which are efficient with respect to the memory. Okay, if you want to build APIs, you'll have to work with Python or Java or Golang. Okay, if you want to build iOS apps, probably you will have to learn Swift. Swift is the programming language used for the iOS ecosystem. If you want to build mobile apps, Android, there are different options. So there is no as such the best programming language. It depends on the use case. Just I would say is, if you are sure, okay, I want to be in the iOS ecosystem, I want to get started my career in that particular field, learn that language, spend couple of months with it, try to see if you are interested or not, or is it just you thought of okay, this will be cool but you are not enjoying it, move to the other thing. Okay, but in general, I will say again, pick anything, either Python or JavaScript or Java or C++, anything from these 3 or 4 languages. These are beginner friendly, easy to get started. You will have ample amount of resources which you can look over internet and learn from it.
Perfect. We have two of them who have raised, Akila and Pravasni. Hope I have pronounced your name correctly. Any one of you can go next. Can go ahead and ask your question. Pravasni, are you there? Okay. Okay. We have a question from Nitin. Being a software engineer, what skills are required and what should he do?
Okay, so this is a interesting question. So the major misconception is that if you want to become a software engineer, the only thing that you do throughout the day is you have to write code. But if I'm being honest, and from my experience, uh, coding is 20% of the job that you do as a software engineer. But there are other aspects of it which you will have to learn and do, which is how to, if you are given something, a feature to work on, you'll have to brainstorm and discuss if that feature is possible or not. You'll have to attend a lot of meetings in your team. Okay, so probably 3 to 4 hours of your time will go on attending meetings, having these discussions with the team. So communication is one of the skill which you should have. And in communication, English is something which you should be at least decent enough, not very fluent, because you'll have to be interacting with folks across the world. There will be some of the folks in your team will be working from US or Canada or Japan. So the primary medium of communication becomes English over here. So English communication is something which you will do. You'll have to manage your time so that you will be able to handle the work. You'll have to handle the meetings. Then as you age in your career, you will be given more responsibilities. Expectation from you will be even more. Okay, not only to code, you have to design the application, then you'll have to take care of the deployment of application. Then you will have a team when you grow as a senior engineer, and then you will have to mentor your juniors. You will have to help them as well to succeed. So a combination of people skills, tech skills, good communication and collaboration, uh, all of these things makes you a better software engineer. But as a fresher, when you start in the industry, uh, the major expectation from you is that you should be at least good enough with coding so that you are able to get the job done. As you age in your career, you will slowly and gradually learn the other aspect of it. So nothing to worry on that part. You will be learning all of those things. Yeah, that is your response.
Yeah. So, Nitin, hope your question has been answered. We'll take up one more last question, Manish,
Yeah.
before we conclude the session for today. It's from Kunal. He just wants to know what would be the starting salary for front-end engineer. Also, front-end engineering is a part of web development or not? What
Mhm.
exactly front-end and back-end engineers do? What would be best for a beginner?
Okay, so these are four questions.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll start with the first question. The front end engineer and the back end engineer, what is the major difference? So if you're interacting with a website, okay, so probably you went on the youtube.com, there is an entire page that gets loaded on you where you see there are different thumbnails. You can hover over the videos, there are the titles, okay, and then when you scroll the page, there are more videos that are loading over there. So this web interface where you as a customer, as a user, is able to interact with that website, and whatever is being taken care over there is something which a front-end engineer will do. And this is, I'm saying, on a very layman terms, okay, so that it becomes easy for you to understand. So UI is something where a user interacts, and the engineer who builds that, the buttons, okay, the search box, the layout that you see on the left side, there is a nav bar, on the top there is a search bar, the icons, all of these things is taken care by the front end engineer. Now, what happens when you click on the particular thumbnail? So there will be a request that is being sent to the backend server, and then the backend server will be able to respond to this request. And it is not very straightforward. There is a lot of things that happen at the backend which the user is not able to experience because he's not able to see those things. Ki, acha, what happens this particular API request went, and how does it render the video in the backend? What are the things taken care of? How these things are happening? All the part of the your experience which you are not able to interact with, which is being taken care by the system, that part is designed and developed by someone from a backend engineering. So this is on a very high level and very layman terms what I'm trying to explain you, the job role of a backend and a front end engineer. And the other part was you wanted to know uh, the salary of a front end engineer. So as of now, if you have decent skills, okay, what do I mean by decent skill? You are good with the building of websites, building any application. You have a good amount of good portfolio to showcase it to any of the startup, to any of the company founder. You can showcase ki, ha, this is on my portfolio. Or you have done some freelancing work where you have built something for them. a good starting point for you will be somewhere around 5 to 6 LPA, uh, where you can showcase your skills as a front-end engineer. And that does not mean that only if you know HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, you will be able to get a job. You have to learn more than that as well. Okay, but this is, I'm just saying, if you build a couple of projects, you have good amount of experience, you will be able to learn all of those things gradually. So considering that, a decent starting salary for a front-end engineer is somewhere around 5 to 6 L as of now.
Okay. So thank you for addressing all of them, Manish. Uh, with this, we come to end of today's session. Thank you so much, Manish, for joining us and for sharing all the valuable information as well. I believe everyone has found this session useful and we were able to address all your doubts and queries. In case if you still have any doubts pertaining to the session, whatever was explained or discussed here, you can get in touch with Manish over LinkedIn. He has already shared his handle in the chat box. Also, Manish, you can just drop it once. And
Yeah,
a quick reminder for all of them to fill the feedback form. I have shared the link on the chat. It will help us improve this session and also allow us to invite you for the upcoming sessions. You can visit our website. The link is in the chat here. Here you'll find the recording of these sessions. Also, other sessions that we have organized in the past. You can also go through the session recordings. You can also check for the upcoming events. If you're interested, just comment interested. We'll be sending you a registration form. You can just fill in the form and get in touch with us. You can register for these sessions by joining the Apna community, and we keep making announcements in the community every day. So you can register there as well. As mentioned, we'll be having sessions regularly, and we hope to see you in the next session. Have a great evening. Thank you, everyone, for joining.
thank you everyone. Thank you, Sneha.
Thank you.